Yeah, very good. Yeah, hi. So, first of all, I would like to ask you a question. Do you know what is eSports? Yes. Okay. So maybe I shouldn't have a presentation now. Okay, so in few words, I would like to make a short introduction about us, who we are, and why we are here. So we are the company with Belarusian roots, which has been concentrated in CIS market, and recently we have, let's say, went global, and we have moved our key operations, key office in Vilnius, Lithuania. On this map you can see a couple of things. In the first color is where we have held kind of championships, online and offline. Second is, let's say, our offices. We have office in Moscow, in the Netherlands, and Lithuania. And the big, let's say, like a plump, it's coverage of our TV channel. And that's about the TV channel. So we were the first ones in outside of South Korea to launch a TV channel dedicated to esports and gaming. And we have built TV studios a couple of kilometers from here, I think 6 maybe kilometers from here in Vilnius, and we are filming, we're doing the shows, we are showing the matches in esports from here, from Lithuania, and now it's only in Russian, but we hope to launch soon also in English version. And short about me, I'm CEO of the company. This photo is, I think, 2002 or 2001. I was in esports, let's say, from other part, sim racing. After 2004, I forgot what is it esports, and then I came back to the company. I joined the company after being as a consultant, helping them to develop the strategy, and then I joined as a CEO for the company. Yeah, so what is esports? Some people think that esports is just sitting on the computer and doing nothing, just wasting the time. Well, that's only an opinion. What is esports today? Today, esports is a huge show. Professional gamers, which are like celebrities. I can tell recently in February we had championship, world championship in Counter-Strike, and we had an event in Multikino in Ozas, and well, there were lots of people who were just cheering and give me an autograph, give me an autograph. They will line, like children were standing in a line for a couple of hours just to get an autograph. That just shows that esports already something much more than just the previous picture. Yeah, so and it's a really beautiful show. It has millions of fans worldwide. It is already professionally covered. Like we have launched TV channel. Our competitors from Sweden have launched TV channel. Yeah, so this is really growing. Just to make you understanding what is it, I will show you a short video. This is a video from our event. This event has been held partially in Lithuania, partially in Moscow. We have brought 8 top teams from the world here in Lithuania, and 4 best ones which qualified. After that, went to Moscow to offline final. No sound. Well, anyway, you can see that this is a real show. There were thousands of people came. The first line, you see first line seating people, the tickets were sold for 350 euro or something like this. There were not many of them, but people bought tickets just to be in front of the stage, just to see how the players are competing. Yeah, so this was the stage. It's not the hugest event, but it was quite big. You see people cheering with flags. These teams winning real money. So these are eSports, eSports people, so athletes, cyber athletes. Yeah, so this is today, and it's already a reality that eSports is viewed more than even NBA. So you can see that in the figures that finals of World Championships in League of Legends has been like the audience, total audience was more than 36 million of people, when NBA finals reached 29 million of people. At the same time, the revenue-wise, it's not yet there. But you understand that growing as the community and the audience is growing, the revenues will also go there. Yeah, that's what I'm. Even let's say conservative forecasts are saying that the eSports itself, where you have the broadcast, the prize money, the advertisement will grow up to $1 billion until 2019. But let's go. Let's go in details. What does mean eSports, and can eSports be called a sport? If you go to Wikipedia, you try to understand what is sports, right? Sports is a form of competitive physical activity or games where through casual or organized participation aim to use, maintain, or improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to participants, and in some cases entertainment for spectators. Okay, if we decompose eSports events, you have games. Yes, you have organized participation, championships, you have rankings, you have world championships. It requires constant training because from first perspective you think that's very easy. You go to a laptop, click the mouse, and you can be an e-athlete. Well, you can. It's the same as like saying I can run, so I'm the same level as runners who can do a marathon in 2 hours. So you know, it's practicing here is also very important. And importantly, also that eSports is a real entertainment for spectators. You see some videos, some video I have shown you, and it's growing, growing, growing. So we can say that eSports can be considered as sports. Can eSports be a professional sport? Here is even much easier. If you go to the term professional, what does it mean professional? It's when you're paid for that. And you have spectators and you have fans. From this perspective, eSports is far already reached this point because top athletes, top players can earn more than $1 million per year in salaries and in prize money and in advertisement. So, I mean, from that perspective, it is already sports and it's already professional sports. But let's think. Let's talk how it has started. Before it was the computer clubs like this or like this. Where is the photo? Sorry. Yeah. So this is one of the first championships in some city where some I don't know $50 for a prize pool. Yeah, so this is how it started, and actually the idea of growing esports, creating esports, came to owners of clubs when they just were trying to bring people into the clubs, just to do something to entertain them, and small by small it was going to that point, and 2011 it already was okay, a bit bigger, but still not large. Then you go to 2012 when it started. You have concert halls, you have 5,000 people, how many here? You have 2013, even more. You have 14 stadium, and you have 2015 huge stadium. Today, nowadays, in esports can gather more than 20,000 people in an arena, and these people will be shouting the name of their favorite team. And when first time you can come to such event, you will think that something insane is happening, because on the stage, where if you go to sports, hockey, basketball, something is happening, you can see what is happening. But in esports, 5 people are sitting on the stage, 5 on 5 normally, and all the thing is happening on the screen. But anyway, it entertains people, it attracts people, and it really became a sport. Why it became a sport and why it became so popular? Well, first of all, the sponsors came to the market, real sponsors. The infrastructure has been created. One of them was, of course, Twitch, which has created the demand on online broadcasts of esports, and more and more tournament organizers started to, let's say, to increase the prize pools. And nowadays, last year, the largest prize pool was $18 million for Dota 2 tournament. Can you imagine? You can play Dota, you can play your favorite game and earn millions of dollars just by winning. Yeah, so that was happened, and you see now, yes, small numbers, but you can $3 million. That's also normal prize pool for Dota. League of Legends, $2 million, and the main question is that the prize pools will go up and up and up, and it will heat up the market. And but why it will go up? It's pretty easy, because who are the eSport players and fans today? There's a generation Y, or millennials, how do you call them? People who were born after 1980s, right? And part of these people already are fans, and the small ones, okay, people who are now 14 years old, 15 years old, in 5 years' time, they will already be, they will have a purchase power. And now they're not watching, I don't know, maybe in Lithuania they're still watching basketball, but they're not watching hockey, they're not watching tennis, they're watching Dota, they're watching League of Legends, which means that sponsorship will move to them, because this is the market, because this is the people where are they standing, what they are doing, and this is a lifestyle for them. So now eSport community are active people, open-minded innovators who have lots of not time, but ability to to try new things and to spread these new things to their friends or families. So this means that it will really grow the community. Yeah, just about small key facts, more about who are these people, right? Who are the community? Sometimes they're tech educated, sometimes they're economists, sometimes they're, without higher education, but still, they're the audience. They're millions of people. They build the marketing, they build the exposure for their brands, which they like. They buy nowadays. They buy T-shirts from favorite teams, like in basketball, and they're like promoting that. So, and this is attracting more and more sponsors there. And once again, the key factor of why esports became as it is now, and why we believe that it will grow even more and more and more, because the key audience of esports is millennials and Generation Y, and next, quite soon, they will have the largest purchase power in the world, which means that esports as entertainment for them will grow up, and I think soon, not I think, already in some countries there are already arenas built, and 2 days ago, actually, it was announced that in China, in Beijing, this bird nest stadium, it will be transformed into largest in the world esports arena. Well, maybe Žalgiris arena will also soon be changed, and so what's next? The thing is that we already talks about that have been for quite a long time, but we believe that will be quite soon. Some countries, Korea especially, pushing esports to become Olympic Games, part of the Olympic Games. We believe that just a question of time when it will become, but even now, already these championships are recognized, are broadcasted on TV, and now it's not a computer club thing. This is the next big thing. When we're moving to virtual reality, when we're moving to this Internet of Things, new generation society, I think esports is one of the, let's say, factors which showing that it's already real, that the future is already here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
got time. Yeah, we got quite a lot of time for questions, so...
Yeah, I was too fast, sorry.
Concrete?
I have a question. I know that in South Korea there are actual people like who hunt these young players and they recruit them and they bring them to these like training camps where they train day and night and things like that. I watched a kind of documentary about it.
Yeah.
Is that happening in Europe?
Yeah, sure. That's yeah, you know, there are ratings of people, and there are special people trained like scouts, like in sports, who are looking for potential stars. They are, let's say, taking them and they bring them to boot camps. It's called boot camp, and yeah, they train them. They prepare them to become real stars. So yeah, the eSport players market, it also became in a real like sports market. So you have agents, you have people who are looking for them, who are searching, who deciding that they are good, putting them into the team, and yeah.
Ignat, currently we have shooter games and MOBA games in the esports community, most part. How do you see the future of it? Will it concentrate on the same genres, or will it take to something else to other spheres? Like, I mean, StarCraft 2 is really popular in Korea, but nowhere else.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I believe that in the next, let's say, 5 to 7 years, there will be new genres which should be mixed or something. But for now, mobile and shooters still will be most popular. And I think that actually mobile will become like kind of football, and shooters will become kind of hockey, and then you will see tennis and some other types of games.
With the same topic, to continue a bit, could it be that it's because MOBA and CSGO, Call of Duty, and these kinds of games are team-based, while StarCraft is mostly one-by-one?
Well, once again, it will be tennis.
Thank you.
Are there any universities that specialize in professional gaming?
I think this year there will be already an announcement of that. So for the moment there are no, let's say, specialized universities, but this South Korea, once again, they're moving there. They will announce programs for training trainers, training professional players, psychologists, because even psychologists is important, and psychologists in esports is also, like, for now, what I know in a couple of teams, there are good psychologists, for example, for esports is someone who likes esports and knows about psychology, but he should be trained as well.
Iš galo galit prie mikrofono prieit bus, kad nereikėtų šaukti labai.
So, as far as I understand, you have organized closed qualifiers in Vilnius, but you haven't organized any open LAN tournaments in Vilnius. Are you planning doing this in near future?
Yeah, that's true. For the moment, we were organizing only events inside our studios. Are we planning? We would like to, and we were planning, but it depends a lot on the global schedule, because on the global schedule there are, let's say, 10 organizers which are competing for the dates, and for spring we have lost times for Counter-Strike. But yeah, I really hope that we will organize.
There was a question about the recruiters and if they're looking for young talents. When they're looking at the young people and they're looking at gaming skill, if we break down that, what is gaming skill? What are they actually looking for, like the reflection time?
That's pretty easy. In games you have ratings. In Dota, for example, you have MMR. This is the compound rating, which shows how competitive you are, and it's rating based on the games, how many you played a lot of games, you killed, you have shown very good performance, so you have it. On Counter-Strike also, each player has its account, and there are lots of performance indicators. And then, like, this is the first part. You just try to analyze the data, you see the guys with good potential, good numbers, and then you start watching how they are playing.
I'll change the question a bit. What kind of physical skills you have to have.
Okay. Well, first of all, you need to be able to sit down for hours. It's all about reaction and the speed, how quickly you're pressing the mouse buttons, and how quickly you think also. But clicking the mouse is very also important. And in Korea, people are like saying insane numbers per second clicks.
Are there already any regulations on doping in esports?
There were scandals actually last year. I think I don't remember the name of the tournament, but there was a team which has been caught on doping, and yeah, there are issues about that. Until now, there is not, let's say, official, but not official war against the dopings. But the organizers are trying to think over what to do with it, because it's actually a very good question, because it's very dangerous. Because people, let's say, 16, 17 years old youngster who want to win, and they're taking pills which increases their reaction time. Yeah, this is dangerous, and I think that the more and more it will become like in real sports.
Is there any federation?
Let's say there are a couple of streams, federations. There is International eSports Federation, which is created, managed, and financed by Korea, South Korea. There are federations. There are some federations which are entering into this, let's say, ISF. And there are independent federations. For example, we also have a federation in Russian Federation, and where I think we'll partner up with someone to have the same thing in Lithuania. But the more, as I said, the more and more esports become real sports, the more real sports rules will come there. And there will be federations, there will be international federations. But the problem with federations here is that in esports, there is an owner in each of esports. There is an owner, and the owner is a publisher. Because if you take football, hockey, okay, nobody owns it, right? You can build a stadium, buy a ball, and play. When you're talking about esports, there are publishers which are actually can at some point of time become the federation or the king, or they can completely change the scene if they want.
I want to ask a question. Some countries already issue like athlete visas to esports players. Do you know about Europe? What is the situation?
I know that there are considerations in some of the countries to accept esports as real sports. But for the moment, I haven't heard about any country already accepted it. So I know that France is kind of moving towards there, because they're quite esports quite popular in the country. Bulgaria had some discussions about that. In Russia, esports was an official sport since 2006 to 2009, I think, something like that. But it was a bit too early. So my projection is in a year or 2 years, esports will be recognized as a sport, and not all the countries, but I think countries which are considered being developed will go to that.
Yeah? I'm just wondering how many views you get per day or per month on these shows?
News? Views. Well, it depends. Regional tier 2 tournament can gather tens of thousands, and finals will gather hundreds of thousands or even millions of people watching. As I've shown you, League of Legends, there were 36 million watching the finals. That's what you can get.
How often do you have these tournaments?
This like already like in real sports. There are, let's say, huge tournaments like Grand Slam in tennis. In Dota, you have international once a year, and then you have major tournaments a couple of times per year, and then you have minor tournaments. Let's say that's like in real sports. There are world championships, there are regional championships, there are country championships where almost every day there is a match. Almost every day you can see the team playing. It would only depend, is it like a very important tournament or just tier 2 tournament, standard tournament.
And how long a standard tournament lasts? 3 months, 2 months?
No, let's say you start the qualification, then you have online qualification, you have offline event. I think I would say it's the longest is about 3 weeks.
What Lithuania needs that we would have a professional eSport team.
Well, people who are motivated to do this.
Yeah, but for now, it's in Lithuania, it's like a hobby, not a recent job.
Yeah, because for like infrastructure was not ready yet, but we are here. There are guys from GameOna here doing the events which will help eSport, let's say local eSports, to grow. The key question, well, to become a professional eSports player, you can you don't need even sponsor, because you don't need to buy the equipment, you don't need to travel a lot unless you are popular and you're invited to LAN finals, but you can play just online and earn some money on that. I would say the most important is motivation, and this why actually I believe that eSports is really a really cool thing, because to become a sport, I don't know, tennis player, you need to invest, your parents actually need to invest quite a lot in you. And in esports, you have a computer, you have a wheel, well, even if you live in a village, but you have internet, you have chances.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
It was very interesting.